They thought we were past our prime, quiet, settled, done surprising anyone. So we gave them something they'd never forget, and they didn't look away. If you're one of the regulars, hit like and subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel, and it helps more than you know. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy this one. Let's get into it. It's honestly exhausting, Mrs. Blake said, flopping back into the arm of the couch like she was performing for the room. She let out a theatrical sigh. Every night, like we're trying to win Amidal or something. Mr. Blake smirked without looking up from his drink. What can I say? Some of us are still in our prime. Their laughter was just a little too loud, just a little too pointed. It wasn't a joke between them. It was a performance for us. Tom sat beside me on the other couch. One ankle rested casually over his knee, a quiet presence. But I could feel it, how still he went when she kept talking. Mrs. Blake raised her glass slightly and grinned at us in the hearts. But hey, Emin, at least you guys don't have to worry about that stuff anymore, right? It tilted my head. She kept going. I mean, you've put in your time. Now you get to just relax. Enjoy the quieter parts of life. No need to keep up with all the... She made a vague little hand motion, smirking. Nightly expectations. There was a soft laugh from Mr. Blake, and he muttered, "They've earned it like it was a compliment." Across from us, Mr. Hart glanced at his wife, then down at the floor. She gave a tight smile and shifted in her seat, her hand barely brushing his knee. Neither of them argued. If anything, they looked like they agreed, like they'd accepted it. But we hadn't. I slid my hand slowly across Tom's thigh, settling against him as I set my glass aside. Actually, I said, my voice soft but deliberate. West'll do it almost every night. Mrs. Blake blinked. Mr. Blake stared, the smile draining slightly from his face. I turned to Tom and ran my hand up his chest. This one's a beast in bed. I heard someone inhale, sharp and shallow. Tom chuckled low in his throat, finally meeting Mr. Blake's gaze. We've been together 21 years, he said calmly. And I'd say the last 5 have been the best. Mrs. Blake laughed, but it sounded thinner now. Wait, seriously? Every night? She looked me up and down, then glanced at Tom. I mean, you still look amazing, but there's no way he's keeping up with that. She smiled like she was doing us a favor by pretending to believe it. I let the silence stretch, then I smiled. You'd be surprised what he's capable of. Tom leaned forward slightly, his voice calm. She makes it easy to keep up. Mr. Blake gave a half laugh, almost nervous. Yeah, well, I don't think I could believe it without seeing it. I tilted my head. No, you really think I'm bluffing? He didn't answer, but he didn't look away either. I let the silence stretch, let the tension thicken just enough. Then I smiled. You know, I wasn't planning on putting on a show tonight. I stepped in front of Tom, smoothing my hand over his shoulder. But since you asked so nicely, I looked toward Mr. Blake. Don't say I didn't give you a chance to back out. Tom leaned back, arms stretched along the couch, completely relaxed, like he knew exactly where this was going, like he'd been waiting for it all night. I turned toward him and ran my fingers slowly down his chest. The room went still. Then I dropped to my knees. Mrs. Hart let out a soft gasp. What are you doing? I didn't look away from Tom putting on a show, and I reached for his zipper. I didn't say a word, just reached in and wrapped my hand around him. He was already firm beneath my hand, steady, ready, waiting. I let my fingers settle there, slow and steady, giving them time to realize what they were seeing. Then I looked over my shoulder and smiled. Noon moved. I lowered myself without hesitation. No teasing, no build-up, just deliberate motion and full focus. Gasps shifting. A breath caught somewhere behind me, but I didn't stop. My lips grazed the surface, soft, slow, teasing, then again, slower this time. My tongue followed, slow and purposeful, savoring the closeness. Tom exhaled softly, the sound buried low in his chest. He leaned back into the couch, one hand resting against the armrest. Breathing changed longer, slower, deeper. I let my hand and mouth move together. Smooth, steady, not rushed. Every movement, every breath, every pause. I made them all count, like I was building something just for him and letting them all watch me do it. Tom adjusted in his seat. Subtle, but unmistakable. That's when his hand came down, just fingertips at first, resting at the back of my head, not pushing, just there, anchoring me, leading gently, and I followed. He guided the rhythm, and I followed it like a song Webbuth remembered. We moved together like this was muscle memory, like we were performing something we'd perfected over the years. The room behind me had gone quiet but not empty. I could feel their ease. I could feel how still they'd gone, like the air had stopped moving. And still, I didn't break focus. Not for a second. When I finally pulled back, I rose slow and smooth, not looking at anyone but him. I stood, unbuttoned my blouse, and let it fall to the floor, then my skirt, then everything else. I eased myself onto his lap, settling across him with practiced ease. Nothing between us now. His hands gripped my thighs, tight, grounded, ready. I looked up, met every pair of eyes in the room. Hope you enjoyed the warm-up. And I settled, drawn closer by gravity and something else entirely. I moved over him in rhythm, measured and grounded. My thighs wrapped around his hips, knees rooted into the cushions, hands planted firmly on his chest. Every motion was intentional, controlled, and weighted. Tom's grip on my waist grew firmer with each pass. His breathing deepened beneath me, but he didn't lead. He let me move how I wanted, like he trusted me to set the pace. I leaned forward until my chest brushed his, my forehead resting gently against his for a breath. Then I rocked back again, adjusting the angle, letting more of my body respond to his. He released a slow breath through his nose, quiet, but thick with tension. I kept going. The room had fallen still, not empty, not silent, but suspended. Somewhere behind me, the couch creaked. I whispered, "Oh my God." Then another voice, sharper, disbelieving. "I can't believe they're actually doing this." I didn't stop. Even thing, I moved with more precision, bolder now, sharper at the edges. My spine curved as I let my head tip back, drawing the motion out with purpose. Tom's hands slid along my sides, anchoring me with a heat that made my breath catch low in my chest. His body had gone taut beneath me, tense, focused, holding on. "You're unreal," he murmured. I didn't answer. I only shifted again, deeper, slower, more complete, letting him feel all of it. Then he sat up, arms locking around my back. He pulled me close and kissed just behind my ear. "Come here," he whispered. I nodded. He rose with me in his arms, our connection unbroken, and stepped off the couch. He lowered to his knees and eased me down onto the rug, laying me out gently in the center of the room. The carpet was warm against my back. I adjusted without effort, legs parting with instinctive ease, open-toe him. That's when I saw them. Mrs. Hart in her knees, lips drifting down her husband's stomach. His hand rested softly in her hair. Mrs. Blake, tense, legs crossed tight, her face unreadable, but flushed. Mr. Blake, leaning forward, elbows braced, eyes fixed and unmoving. I looked at them all and I smiled. They doubted us. Now they couldn't look away. Tom knelt between my legs, one palm pressing gently into my thigh, the other braced near my ribs. Our eyes met. Then he moved toward me again. He settled over me with full weight, deliberate and complete. His body stretched across mine, chest against skin, warmth pressing through every point of contact. My legs wrapped around his waist, keeping him close, grounding us to the rug beneath. The room vanished. Even the sounds blurred at the edges. All that remained was the cadence between us. Thick, deliberate, folding me into each movement like we were breathing in sync. Every shift from him lit up something buried deep inside. One hand found my wrist, threading our fingers together above my head. The other steadied against the side of my thigh, holding me in place with a quiet force that left no doubt. I arched into him without thinking, letting the motion carry us further. Air caught in my throat. His mouth hovered at my neck, not kissing, just exhaling. And every restrained tremor in him radiated through me. He was focused, grounded, completely present. Tilting my head, I caught just enough of the room to see. Mrs. Hart had taken her place above her husband, moving with a kind of wild flow, her body lifting and lowering in time with his hands at her waist. They weren't just caught in it, they were consumed. And across from them, the Blakes remained frozen. Arms crossed tight, lips pressed pale. Mrs. Blake didn't even blink. Her husband stared forward, knuckles locked between his knees. They looked like they'd forgotten how to breathe. The youngest couple in the room, completely undone. I turned back to Tom. His gaze never left me. That motion, that weight, that warmth. It was all still there, building towards something heavier. Without warning, his arms gathered beneath me, one under my shoulder, the other beneath my hips. and with a single seamless motion, he turned me. My hands caught the rug, knees planted wide. The shift sent a jolt through my spine, heat rushing up my throat. He drew in behind me. Close. Certain. Unshakable. Don't hold back. I breathed. He didn't. Fingers closed around my hips and the pace changed entirely. No more patience, no restraint. Each motion came with purpose. Steady, grounded, and unrelenting. The sound of our bodies meeting filled the room like low thunder rolling across fabric. My arms strained to hold me up. Elbows bent. Palms flattened to stay grounded. Every part of me tensed, braced, opened again. A glance over my shoulder and there she was. Mrs. Blake, her eyes locked to mine, mouth parted, frozen, not judging, just witnessing. I didn't blink, didn't look away. I wanted her to see. Then he turned forward again, letting everything else fall away. The tempo climbed higher, sharp and consuming. His hold firm. My lungs seized. My body tightened, stretched, and hovered right at the edge. Something inside let go. A sound escaped, half breath, half cry. I folded forward, trembling. The world around me lit with something hot and breathless and bright. For a moment, just long enough to catch one shallow breath, he paused, then moved again with even more force, more driven, more alive. And he didn't stop. Be honest. If you were in his place with the whole room watching, what would you have done? Would you have held back or gone even further? Tell me in the comments. I'll be reading. And before you head out, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one. Thanks for watching.